Hello everyone, today I'm going to be getting you started on the Boomerang shawl, the crochet version, which has been put together by Gail H on Ravelry for us, and her design has us alternating double and single crochet. And I've done this previously in a baby blanket, in the Bernat blanket yarn, and this is what it looks like. So it gives it a really cool texture, and it looks like you did a much more complicated pattern when it's actually just simple alternating double and single crochet. So to start off, choose the yarn that you want and the corresponding hook. Completely up to you. You can make this as big or small as you want. I'm going to be using my Caron Cakes yarn in the Fairy Cake color for this. So put your slip knot onto your hook and chain 10. And you're going to want this to be fairly loose. Six, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I'm leaving that chain quite loose. So there's my chain of 10. And then what we're going to do is we're going to turn it over so that we're looking at the back, and then single crochet into the back loops of the chain. So when you turn it over and look at the back, these loops in the middle, these are our 9 back loops that we're going to single crochet into. That loop that comes up right in the middle. So from where you ended your chain, just immediately go into that first back loop there. So I'm going to have 9 of those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So there's my first one here. Working into the chain is gotta be one of my least favorites, if not my least favorite things, which I know I can't be alone in because of the popularity of the corner to corner method, in which you can avoid having a foundation chain completely. So work 9 single crochets into those back loops. All of mine, I'm not going to pull it tight. I'm going to leave it quite loose because it is a shawl and I want it to have a soft and a lacy feel to it. Which is also why I've sized up to the J hook. And that's going to allow me to have it work up faster as well. Okay. So there's our row of single crochet in the back loops only. Now for this project, stitch markers are an absolute must. And I tried to do this already without them and went wrong on my first try. And then I was fine once I followed Gail's advice to use stitch markers. So I'm going to use 2 because I'm going to put them in my first stitch at the beginning of each and every row. So now we're starting row 1. The single crochets did not count as row 1. So now row 1, we're going to do chain 1, turn your work, and we're going to do a single, a double, and a single all into the first stitch. So there's our first single, and that's where I'm going to insert my first stitch marker into that single. And then a double in the same place. And then another single into the same place. And then for the rest of this row, we're going to alternate double crochet and single crochet until we get to the last 2 stitches. So now a double, single, double, and single, double, and then one more single. And now we've reached the point where there's 2 stitches left. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a double crochet 2 together, which is yarn over, insert into the first stitch, draw up a loop, insert immediately into the second stitch, and draw up a loop, yarn over and pull through 3 of the loops only, and then yarn over and pull through 2. So that's the end of row 1. Then we're going to chain 1 and turn our work and skip that first stitch, which is our double crochet 2 together from the previous row, and then double crochet into the single crochets of the previous row and single crochet into the double crochets of the previous row. So skip that first one and do a double crochet. And that's my first stitch of the row, so that's where I'm going to insert my stitch marker. And then single crochet, double crochet, single crochet, and double crochet, and then single crochet again, double crochet again, and then we've still got another one that needs a single crochet before we get to our last one. So there's a single crochet, and then now we can tell which one is the last one because I've got that stitch marker there, whereas otherwise I wouldn't have realized that my first one was down on the side like that. But that's my first one of the row that I'm working into, which is why the stitch markers are so essential. So then we're going to do double, single, double in that one. So a double, and then a single, and then another double, all into that same space. Okay, so now we're back to row 1 again. And it's just repeating rows 1 and 2 until you've got your shawl to the size that you want it. So chain 1, turn your work, and do a single and a double and a single into that first stitch. So a single, that's the one that's so important for me to mark with my stitch marker, because that's the one that'll get lost on the edge there. And then a double in the same stitch, and then another single in the same stitch, and then once again alternating double, single until we get to the last 2. So I'm going to do that, just alternate double and then single, and we'll meet back up at the end of this row. So now I'm at the last 2 again, and that's going to be another double crochet 2 together. So yarn over, pull up a loop, go into that last stitch there that's marked with the stitch marker, pull up a loop, pull yarn over, pull through 3, yarn over, pull through 2. So then we've completed another row 1. Yeah, and that looks like, it looks like a weird shape when you're starting, But the curve, it's a very, very sharp curve to start off getting that boomerang shape. So have faith, it'll get there. Chain 1 and turn it. We're back on row 2. Skip the double crochet 2 together. Skip your first one. And just, again, double crochet, single crochet. Alternating double crochet and single crochet until you get to the last stitch, and you're going to do those 3 stitches in the last stitch. So do those, alternate your double and your single, and meet me at the very end and we'll do one more grouping. Okay, I'm back at the very last one again on the side here. And that one needs a double and a single and a double. And that creates the inner arch of our boomerang. So there's that. So then that's the end of another row 2. So then once again, go back to row 1 and do the same thing. So now you're off on your own. Simply alternate rows 1 and 2 until you reach your desired size. Use your stitch markers to keep you at the right place and make sure you don't miss any of these inside stitches. And this is going to be that inner arc of your boomerang here, and this will be your outside edge. That'll curl around and create that boomerang shape. So please don't forget to subscribe for more videos and enjoy!